The CEO of the Nigerian Stock Exchange, Oscar Onyema, has said he believes the Central Bank of Nigeria will not move quickly this year to normalize historically low interest rate, and this will be positive for the equities market. Onyema made these remarks at the NSE's 2020 market recap and 2021 outlook, which provided insights on the NSE's performance in 2020 and predictions for the current year. The audience included senior market practitioners, investors, analysts, media, government officials, and other key stakeholders. Nigeria's stock market closed 2020 with a record-beating 50% return. Arise business analyst Chikambonu joins me now in the studio. Good morning.
Morning.
Yeah, let's talk about this cash transfer. First, let's touch on that 5,000 naira over 6 months to those the vice president says were not on the initial cash transfer list.
Oh, okay. From 10,000 to 5,000 now?
Yes.
Over 6 months.
Times are hard.
Yeah, times are hard. Well, people say better than nothing.
Half a bread, half a loaf.
It's not up to half a loaf better than nothing. It's better than nothing. Let's look at that. But I will hasten to say that, when you give a man a fish, you feed him for a day, and when you teach him how to fish, you feed him for life. I think government should, instead of this tiny handouts, this one comes to less than about 800 naira or 850 naira a month over the 6 months. Provide the environment for people to thrive, for companies to thrive and employ people, for SMEs. We talked about SMEs a lot in this program. For the SMEs to thrive, SMEs are the largest employers of labor in the country. For them to thrive, most of them are struggling. So the government should provide the environment for those companies to thrive, so that these handouts will mean nothing if people are actually employed.
Well, I agree with you. And if the purchasing power, I think you're going to touch on the dwindling consumer spending and how tight for individuals. Each time it looks like folks begin to look for alternatives. So it keeps going down and down until it's getting to that particular point. I remember, was it during the Second Republic, when a particular government official says, it hasn't yet seen Nigerians eating from
the dustbin.
I think it was during the Second Republic.
Second Republic. I think, Second Republic.
I guess so.
One of the arrogant politicians then, said that.
He said, what's the problem? Nigerians are not yet eating from the dustbin. Today, Nigerians are eating from the dustbin.
Eating from the dustbin. I mean, if you just need to be out there to know that Nigerians are eating from the dustbin. Things are very rough for Nigerians. And a lot of things are happening. But, we thank God for the government for the 5,000 they've given out for over 6 months, and I hope they will do more.
Okay, so let's talk about this Access Bank. It looks like Access Bank is not giving up on its Pan-African expansion.
No. Access Bank wants to be the African gateway to the world. And the end game in the first plan is to be in 22 African countries. And then about 12 locations now, including in several African countries, DRC, Sierra Leone, Ghana, Rwanda, Kenya, Zambia, South Africa, and then a couple of forests now. The announcement have been made for, I think, Mozambique and Botswana. And then, so these new 8 countries they plan to look at include Morocco, Algeria, Egypt, Ivory Coast, Angola, Namibia, and Ethiopia, 8 of them. And they call it the high potential markets. I guess it has to also tie into, profiting from the African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement that reduces the limiting factors for doing business in Africa, and making Africa one custom union of about 1.3 billion people. And so Access Bank in crafting their strategy is to tap into these new opportunities in Africa.
I think, do you think this eventual expansion into 22 African countries will be at the heels of what UBA has also been doing?
Yeah, UBA has been one of the forerunner for
the front runners.
For this African expansion. I think at 21 African countries now, and at 20 or 21. And, different experiences, whether it's East Africa or West Africa. And you will know that, agree with me, that leaving Nigeria to go to any other African country is not, not very easy. One, different business environment, different regulatory environment, different, the human capital system, the labor relations are different. And we must make sure that the banks, Nigerian banks, are prepared for those.
But do you see the EFCFTA encouraging other African banks to replicate what African Access Bank is doing? Are you looking to see Moroccan banks in Nigeria, for example?
Of course, they are going to come into Nigeria because some of the Nigerian banks also, the capital base required to grow the business, some of them don't have. So they can be easy picks, especially in the Nigerian stock market.
And transitioning to a holding company, it looks like everybody's going holdco.
Yeah, as we said before in this program, that strictly doing a banking business, your return normally can be more than 5-6%, and especially in this Nigerian environment. And so, if you want to expand, diversify your earnings, you need to aggregate other business frontiers, and that's why they're going to insurance brokerage. Going to payments, insurance brokerage and payments, and that will help them expand their business frontiers.
GT Bank is also doing the same thing?
Yeah, a couple of the Nigerian banks are pushing the holding company concept.
You think they have enough? They are well heeled as commercial banks already?
Yeah,
so they can now branch out?
But you see, the interesting thing is this: was that remember the journey. The journey was the universal banking system. Allow the banks to put several in one roof. Now, subsequent to that, CBN told banks to either move to the holdco concept or be strictly commercial banks, because of the fact that the fire and the boy squad can affect the main house, in the sense that if the banks are involved in other businesses under the same roof,
proprietary trading, and all
exactly,
of that.
those can hurt the depositors' funds, and so a lot of banks gave up the subsidiaries. For example, GTB gave up. Even Access Bank gave up the insurance subsidiaries and the asset management subsidiaries.
Bank, I guess. Also,
So only FCMB and First Bank and I think IBTC took the option of holdco, and all of them have found that that's what they should go to now.
There's money down there.
They are coming back to that now.
Everybody's going back to that pipeline.
All of them are going to the holdco.
That's the way to go.
Holdco concept now.
We'll discuss it a bit further. Quite a whole lot to dig in there.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Chikambanu, Arise business analyst.
Thank you.
You're watching Global Business Reports on Arise News.